All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive development that fundamentally shifts how high-end cancer treatment is actually funded. Specifically, we're zeroing in on this fascinating intersection of advanced medical therapies, think CAR T-cell therapy and highly specialized immunotherapies over in the Indian market, and innovative financial structuring. We're going to examine a brand new partnership between Immuneel and Arogya Finance. And this partnership, it's aimed squarely at addressing literally one of the biggest bottlenecks in modern oncology today, which is the absolutely astronomical out-of-pocket cost of care. Think about this for a second. What if saving a life didn't mean losing your life savings? It sounds like a dream, but it's a devastating reality for millions of families globally. You know, when a cancer diagnosis hits, that sheer immediate medical terror is almost instantly followed by a crushing financial reality. In so many healthcare systems, especially where comprehensive insurance for these really cutting-edge treatments just isn't universal, patients are forced to bear the absolute brunt of out-of-pocket costs. We are talking about families completely draining their retirement accounts, taking out second mortgages on family homes, or crowdsourcing just to get their foot in the door for a basic consultation. The financial toll of an advanced disease can honestly be just as daunting as the physical illness itself. It creates this massive, heartbreaking bottleneck where the life-saving science actually exists, but the capital to access it simply doesn't. Section 1. The cost of survival. Look, today, patients are basically fighting a two-front war. On one side, you have the medical battle, and honestly, thanks to some unbelievable advancements in bioscience, we're seeing highly sophisticated, life-saving cancer treatments become a reality. We're fighting the disease on a cellular level, with more precision than we've ever had before. But on the exact opposite side is the financial battle. These high-end treatments require immense R&D, specialized manufacturing, complex clinical delivery, and all of that translates to a very steep price tag. In the oncology community, they actually call this dual burden financial toxicity, and it's not just a corporate buzzword, it's a legitimate clinical risk factor. When patients are forced to liquidate their assets or take on these high-interest predatory loans, or, worst of all, delay their treatment just to raise funds, their stress levels absolutely skyrocket. And that delay and chronic stress, they directly correlate to poorer medical outcomes. So the financial toxicity can essentially neutralize the medical miracle sitting right there in the lab.
Section 2, a groundbreaking partnership.
So to really understand how the market is finally responding to this friction, we have to look at the structural problem itself. Let's be real, hospitals are not equipped to underwrite loans, right? In traditional banks, they typically view medical emergencies as incredibly high-risk lending scenarios. No one wants to touch it. This is exactly where specialized partnerships come into play, and it's a real game changer. You have Immuneel operating as the medical innovator. They're providing the advanced cellular therapies and immunotherapies. Then you have Arogya Finance operating strictly as the financial enabler, absorbing and managing all of the financial underwriting. By separating these two roles, a massive structural bottleneck is cleared overnight. The biotech firm doesn't have to act like a debt collector, and the fintech firm doesn't need a PhD in oncology. They each stick to their core competencies, effectively bridging the gap between a medical cure and the financial mechanism you actually need to reach it.
Section 3, decoding zero-cost EMI.
Now, the financial facility in this specific partnership caps at 25 lakh. And actually, this isn't just some arbitrary round number they picked out of a hat. In the context of the Indian healthcare market, 25 lakh, which is roughly equivalent to about $30,000 US, is precisely calibrated to cover the high costs associated with cutting-edge, personalized therapies, exactly like the ones Immuneel provides. For a massive segment of the middle class, this specific sum is a hard brick wall. Without a structured facility, trying to raise 25 lakh in a matter of days or weeks to begin urgent cancer therapy is functionally impossible for most households. It completely locks them out of the highest tier of modern care. The genius mechanism deployed here is the zero-cost EMI, or equated monthly installments. Now, if you know anything about finance, the immediate question popping in your head is probably, wait, if the patient isn't paying interest on a 25 lakh loan, who on earth is? Because capital certainly isn't free. Well, in these types of specialized healthcare partnerships, the business mechanic usually dictates that the medical provider subsidizes the interest to the financier. It's basically treated as a cost of patient acquisition, or, a cost of expanding patient access. By absorbing the interest rate, the medical innovator ensures a much higher patient volume and throughput, while the financial partner gets compensated for managing the risk and the capital float. For the end patient, the math becomes incredibly simple and stress-free. They take this immense cost of care, spread it out over time, and pay only for the medical treatment itself, without compound interest actively working against them. The patient journey under this new model contrasts so sharply with the traditional experience, it's almost night and day. Historically, a patient facing a massive medical bill would have to endure an absolute nightmare of bureaucracy. They'd be forced to gather mountains of medical records, approach a traditional, slow-moving bank, provide significant collateral, and then just wait, sometimes for weeks, all while a tumor is actively growing. But this new, streamlined three-step process is designed entirely around speed and extremely low friction. A patient requires the advanced treatment, they apply for the targeted financing facility, and once approved, they access up to 25 lakh in interest-free installments. Boom. It shifts the financing from a disjointed, chaotic, months-long scramble into a highly specialized, integrated pathway right at the point of care.
Section 4. A lifeline for patients.
These psychological and systemic benefits of this model are absolutely profound. By removing that terrifying upfront financial barrier, the massive lump sum payments traditionally required before treatment can even legally begin, you literally strip away the immediate panic. But beyond just peace of mind, there is a critical systemic impact here. If patients and their families don't have to spend precious weeks or months scrambling for upfront cash, they get treated much earlier in their disease progression. And in oncology, time is literally everything. Earlier intervention drastically increases the actual medical efficacy of these advanced treatments. So you aren't just saving the patient from a lifetime of debt, you are creating the absolute optimal conditions for the medicine itself to succeed, by allowing the family to focus 100% of their energy on recovery.
This partnership serves as a really crucial case study for modern medicine. It forces us all to ask, can financial innovation ultimately cure the financial toxicity of healthcare worldwide? Think about it. If a zero-cost financing model can be successfully deployed and underwritten for a 25 lakh oncology treatment, the macroeconomic implications are massive. Can this exact framework be copy-pasted to combat other high-cost rare diseases globally? How else can we use targeted financial structuring to guarantee that a clinical breakthrough doesn't just gather dust in a lab, but actually reaches the patient whose life depends on it? It's a beautifully complex question about the future of healthcare economics. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep analyzing the systems around you, and I'll catch you next time.